Millennials are certainly considered the it generation of the decade. How they spend and what their interests are and how they choose to save impacts everyone. So how are they spending their money and how is it going to be impacting you? Breaking down their spending and saving habits is Millennials researcher Jason Dorsey. Jason joins us now. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
If you can crack the code of Millennials and what they think and do, you will be a rich man because they are such an important part of our future and how this country is going to work economically. Are they saving their money and do they have any money to save because the job market is so difficult?
Yeah, those are great questions. So there's about 80 million of us, and we range in age from around 19 to 37, the millennials. So we are making a lot of money. Some of us are saving it, some of us aren't. And we're actually seeing kind of a divide, if you will, between those of us that are employed, are saving money and moving on, and those that are either underemployed or unemployed. And where I think it affects banking is not only our savings habits, but having those financial conversations. Because if you don't have a relationship with a banker, you don't talk about a lot of those things. You know, if you just use an online bank, and that's why in the study that we just did, those community and local bankers, those are the ones that give you that personal connection. But it is strange because millennials, we don't show up to the bank, right? You know?
Well, that's something that interested me when I was looking at your research. You found that more millennials want to meet the president of their local community bank than they want to meet the president of the United States?
Yeah, that's
Is that because they're getting in more into small businesses and being more entrepreneurial?
Yeah, the question we asked was specifically, who would you rather meet, the president of the local bank who just gave you a loan to start your dream business, or the president of the United States? And overwhelmingly, the answer was the president of the local bank, who you can imagine is not as hip as the president that we're all watching around on Air Force One. But the idea was just, it was so massive in terms of the number of people that said, that's the person I want to meet. And that's what jumped out at us, is that local bank president who makes that business possible is the one that we would meet. And what struck us when we interviewed and looked at the data that said what percentage of millennials are actively thinking about starting their own business right now, contemplating it, 36% of them said they're looking to do that right now. And that's important because it was more than any other generation.
That's the thing. What does that mean for our future? If more millennials or of any generation are getting into a small business or starting their own business, what does that mean 20, 30 years from now?
Well, it means a lot of things. I mean, first off, it shows that generations have changed, right? Baby boomers are taught, get a safe job, get a pension, get health benefits. You'll have Social Security, right?
Now we know we won't have Social Security.
Yeah. And millennials,
non-millennials,
we're thrilled to pay for everybody else. But we've also realized that there's a trade-off now in terms of that. And we value lifestyle, and we've been told, pursue your dreams. So what it means, I think, for the economy is we may be the most entrepreneurial generation ever. And so the key is, are we willing to act on that, to go out and get those loans, to have businesses that fail? And we believe that millennials will do that, because if you look at who we kind of say these are the celebrities, it's not so much football players anymore.
It's Mark Zuckerberg.
It's Zuckerberg,
right?
Exactly.
He's 23, a billionaire, so that inspiration. It also is striking to me that you found no one's carrying cash. These millennials are not, you know,
None.
They have maybe $5 in their pocket. Is that what you found?
Yeah, and in the research that we did with ICBA, we asked specifically, how many days of the week do you carry less than $5 a day? Which basically means every day, right? 23% of millennials said they have less than $5 every day. And I'm sure it was zero, right? Part of the reason we're like, hey, Mom, can I get some money?
Exactly.
Right?
Which our parents say, I never even feel comfortable using a credit card. That older baby boomer generation still is skeptical about that.
Yeah.
Do you think that cashless society is good for the economy?
I do think it's good for the economy. I don't think it's necessarily good for millennials in terms of learning how we spend, because there is some emotional connection to I'm giving you cash and getting something in return. But we're seeing that change, because if you've never expected to use cash, then it may not have that impact on you. What is interesting, though, think about like maybe a community bank versus some of these other banks. How many ATMs you have may not be nearly as important. When was the last time we went to an ATM, right? Keep your cash. No, seriously, I just want to do it through my phone, right?
That's it, exactly. All right, well, Jason Dorsey, thanks so much for being with us. Some interesting tidbits there. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.